28 companies in the electric vehicle industry, including big names like Tesla, Lucid, and Rivian, have joined forces to create a new organization called ZETA, with the goal to push for 100% electric vehicle sales by 2030. And Rivian has just confirmed that its first version of its electric pickup truck is now sold out. Also, Tesla and Lucid continue to compete in price and range of their vehicles, with Tesla likely updating the range of its Model S from 402 miles to 409 miles on a single charge, beating Lucid by just 3 miles. This is what's coming up next, but first let's get plugged in. Hello and welcome to EV Source. My name is Harry and I'm your host for today's dose of EVs and technology. Before we begin, if this is your first time here, please consider subscribing so you don't miss our future videos. It's good to be back after a short break, though it wasn't the kind of break you might think. I was feeling under the weather, which forced me to take a break from work and YouTube. But now I'm finally back to 100% and ready to kick off things to high gear. While I've been away, a lot of news around Tesla and EVs in general came out that some of you may have already heard, but I think it's still worth bringing these topics up and offer my 2 cents on them. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Let's begin with ZETA, which stands for Zero Emission Transportation Association, a new organization that was formed recently to push for 100% electric vehicle sales by 2030. 28 companies form this organization, and among them are companies like Tesla, Lucid, Rivian, and others who are associated with the electric vehicle industry. Joe Britton, who spent 15 years working in the US Senate, has been named the executive director of ZETA. He commented, quote, "For the first time in a generation, transportation is the leading emitter of US carbon emissions. By embracing EVs, federal policymakers can help drive innovation, create hundreds of thousands of new jobs, and improve air quality and public health." ZETA's formation recognizes a pivotal moment for national leadership and reflects the will of the growing clean transportation sector. The next decade will be critical in implementing federal policies that accelerate the transition to zero-emission vehicles and help address these problems head-on. The clean vehicle sector already boasts hundreds of thousands of jobs, but if we encourage its growth, the United States can decisively win the global race to develop a new clean transportation economy and employ hundreds of thousands of Americans right here at home. The organization plans to push point-of-sale consumer incentives, which would make it easier for people to buy an electric vehicle at a lower cost right away instead of waiting for incentives and tax credits for several months. This makes a lot of sense and it should have been implemented a long time ago. The organization also plans to continue with emissions standards to push automakers to switch to electric vehicles, which so far has been one of the key pieces to support electric vehicle sales. This is how Tesla has been getting all those credits and selling them to other automakers who still fall short of the emissions targets. They're also asking for federal support on investing in research and development, provide an aligned vision for electrification, and ensure local leaders are empowered with the expertise and resources to support full vehicle electrification. They're also working to secure domestic economic growth and leadership in EV manufacturing. The goal is to have federal policies that encourage job creation and economic activity across the entire EV supply chain and life cycle, from critical material to vehicles. Lastly, the organization is also pushing the government to invest in charging infrastructure. I'm hoping this also includes wireless charging infrastructure, which could play an important part in the coming years, once autonomous vehicles start roaming our streets. Wireless charging technology is already showing great promise in fast charging speeds of up to 150 kilowatts, with potential to over 350 kilowatts. If you want to learn more about wireless charging, I highly recommend you watch this video right here that goes more into this topic. While many countries have proposed a ban on ICE vehicles, these bans are mostly taking effect beyond 2030. For instance, Germany plans to ban ICE vehicles by 2050, France by 2040, and China also in 2040. And some automakers have also set their own goals, such as Toyota that stated they will phase out ICE vehicles by 2050. I'm just lost in words when I hear this kind of stuff. These companies won't even exist in 2050 if they don't have electric vehicles only by 2030. To put things in perspective, let's look at the past history real quick. It took about 10 to 15 years to transition from horses to cars back in early 1900. The current transition is no different, except it can happen much faster than most people realize. Even if you don't care about the environment, electric vehicles still make sense from multiple perspectives. Sure, they're currently quite expensive, but with incentives and lower cost of ownership, they're actually a lot cheaper than equivalent ICE vehicles. But that's not everything. Electric vehicles are much more fun to drive. Don't believe me? Go try a Tesla, you won't regret it. Most people get blown away after driving a Tesla, and I'm one of those people. Though I don't currently own a Tesla, driving one whenever I get a chance makes me feel like a little kid getting a new toy. I'm still not used to the acceleration, it literally surprises me every single time. So if you haven't even sat in a Tesla before, I highly suggest you go try one out right now, and you'll see what I mean. Rivian confirmed that it has already sold out the reservation slots for the first version of its electric pickup truck, all without even giving the wider public access to the configurator. About a week ago, Rivian unveiled its final pricing and configurations for the first version of the R1T pickup truck and R1S SUV. Rivian then opened up its configurator for people who had placed reservations with a $1,000 deposit on its vehicles over the last 2 years. Despite this limitation, they have managed to sell out the launch edition of their new electric vehicles within a week. While Rivian has not disclosed how many launch edition vehicles they are going to produce, it is the only version that will be produced between June 2021 and January 2022. The launch edition comes with special badging, and it is available in an exclusive green color option. It's equipped with Rivian's mid-range battery pack that should enable over 300 miles of range, but Rivian said they're planning to have longer and shorter range options sometime in the future. Though it's starting to look like they won't reach volume production until mid-2022. And while Rivian has delayed its consumer products due to the pandemic, it has kept its EV delivery van project with Amazon intact. Pushing consumer products further into the future and prioritizing resources for Amazon can be seen as a red flag. Rivian has not delivered a single vehicle yet to consumers, yet they seem to be kissing Jeff Bezos' rear end. If I was a Rivian reservation holder, I would be a bit worried about the direction Rivian might be headed toward. Regardless, Rivian's pickup truck is definitely one of the most anticipated pickup trucks to come out in 2021, along with Tesla Cybertruck. Their pricing is reasonable, but I feel they could do better with the range. If Tesla continues to innovate as it has to date, Tesla vehicles will have a far better price and range than any competitor. The only one that currently comes anywhere close is Lucid. Will we perhaps see Tesla sell or license its technologies to others in order for them to catch up to stay afloat? Only time will tell. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Meanwhile, Tesla continues to troll Lucid by beating its official EPA range once again. Previously, Tesla announced an increased range of 402 miles for the Model S, with an updated price of $69,420, which is just below the price of the Lucid Air. Now, Electrek posted an article of a Mhern sticker from a Tesla Model S that shows an updated EPA range of 409 miles on a single charge. This is supposedly a November batch of Model S, but it hasn't been updated on Tesla's website yet. But if it's on a Mhern sticker, there's a good chance that it is official and just a matter of time before Tesla updates this on its website. Though one thing that really stood out from this is that the Model S Long Range Plus is almost 1% less efficient in the combined city and highway test cycle, and about 1.6% less efficient in the city, while on the highway it turns out to be almost 1% more efficient. So it doesn't really make sense that it gets more range while being less efficient than pre-November models. Is Tesla putting in new batteries, or is it perhaps because of a software update? We can only speculate at this point until Tesla makes it official. Each day that passes by, electric cars grow in numbers, and it's more clear than ever before that the time of the old internal combustion engine vehicles, or ICE, is coming to an end. Like it or hate it, the future is electric. Like I have been saying since starting this channel, Tesla is setting new standards and showing the way to a better future where ICE vehicles are a thing of the past. Others have to get a move on very soon with compelling electric vehicles with a reasonable price, range, and autonomous capability. So far, I'm very underwhelmed with most EVs out there, mostly due to their lack of range and technology at a price point where Tesla simply dominates in every sector. EVs are the future, and the sooner we make the shift, the better. ZETA is an organization that I'm sure we will hear more of in the coming years. They might play a key role in the transition from ICE to electric. But what do you think about ZETA and its goals? Do you think there will be more companies joining the organization? And where do you see the automotive industry in 2030? I'm curious to know what you think, so let me know in the comments below. Once again, we are at the end of the video, and if you're still here, you are amazing. If you own a Tesla, get 10% off on your accessories when shopping at Abstract Ocean with the code EVSource. Also, don't forget to check out our merch store for shirts, hoodies, and more. And if you would like to show more support for the channel, consider becoming a patron and get access to exclusive content such as Q&As and behind the scenes. But in the end, the best form of support is having you watch and enjoy these videos. And of course, a shout out to our patrons you see on the screen, and a special shout out to our power producer Inku Kang. Thanks for watching. My name is Harry and this is EV Source. Keep charging ahead and I'll catch you in the next one. Stay safe and take care.